DJ Mac.
This DJ is on fire. 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 Fire.
DJ Max, the king of DJ.
Elaborate Chords mixtape.
Fire, baby.
Hello, good morning, and welcome, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Great to have everyone here. Welcome. And of course, we must begin with apology on the late start due to circumstances beyond our immediate control. So we are going to be commencing the event right away. We are going to be commencing the event right away. But before we start anything, we need to give glory to the Almighty Creator. On this, I call on Engineer Dr. Isaac Adekoya to lead us in opening prayer. Thank you. Please.
Shall we pray, please? Eternal Rock of Ages, we bless you for another opportunity in your presence today. Thank you, Lord, because this is a day that you have set to glorify yourself. Thank you because this is a day that you have set for us to start the LEKKY branch of the NSC. Thank you, Lord, for all the people that you used to organize this event. Thank you, Father, for the provision of all the resources. Lord, please accept our thanks in Jesus' name. Lord, we hand over this program unto you. We pray that you are going to take control. As many of our guests as are yet on the way, please quicken their steps. Lord, we pray that you are going to direct their affairs. And at the end, give us reasons to glorify your name. Thank you, Lord, for answering our prayers. In Jesus' name we pray.
Thank you very, very much, our distinguished engineer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yes, we are going to be having a very wonderful day. So, in line with international safety standards and the fact that we are dominated primarily by people in the oil and gas power industry here, may I call on our distinguished Engineer Anthony Albertino Ikejebelu Obumneme, to come and give us safety moments. Engineer Albertino, please. Safety moments. Okay. Oh, sorry, please. I think there's a breach of national protocol, please. So we're supposed to have the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So on this, I don't know, the sound system, do you have the national anthem, please, on play? Okay. So please, can we all rise up for the national anthem? Hello? You see? Okay, okay. Okay, please. Okay, sorry, please. Let us be seated, please, for a moment, please. Just a moment, please. Be seated, please. Be seated. Sorry, I think they are doing something. So thank you very, very much. While we wait for that briefly, so I must thank the great people, the great men and women that are coming in today to be part of us. I know it's very, very challenging, especially in Lagos, given the kind of traffic situation we have out there. Third Mainland Bridge right now, some part of the Ikeja are seriously choked with traffic, and also saw a lot of traffic on this other side. I'm talking of this LEKKY Expressway. There's quite a whole lot of things. Please, we want to assure you that this our meeting today is going to be very, very timely. Okay, despite the time loss so far, and also there's a lot to eat and a lot to eat. Okay, a lot to drink. Please just enjoy yourself, relax. And also, this is also a kind of gathering of professionals of all kinds. So take the opportunity to network with people while we get to start this meeting as well. In addition to that, just know that this NSC Lekki Peninsula branch is certainly the youngest branch of the Nigerian School of Engineers. And it's going to be the branch that's going to be taking care of engineers, okay, in the Lekki Peninsula. And of course, Lekki Peninsula, as you may understand from the geography of Lagos, begins from the Lekki toll gates and stretches up to the Ekpe Bridge, if you know where Ekpe Bridge is. So, and this peninsula, as they call it, as well as catchment areas, there are some isolates around it, okay, make up our catchment. Meanwhile, we also have another Ibejuleki branch, which also came out, I mean, more or less like came out from us, although they were recognized first, but nonetheless, they came out basically from us. We also have them also working with us. So we're all working in tandem with also our sister branch, the NSC Victoria Island branch as well. So we're all working together as engineers to better ourselves professionally, career-wise, and in every aspect. So, okay. So upon this, please, can we all rise up, please, for the national anthem, please? Can we all rise up for the national anthem, please? Thank you very much, please. You may all have your seat, please. Yes, thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I call to the high table? May I call to the high table our Chairman Pro Tempore of the Nigerian School of Engineers Lekki Peninsula branch, in the person of Engineer Abiodun Olugbade Adelokun. Please, Chairman, sir. Okay. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes. So while we await the president of the Nigerian School of Engineers, okay, so we are going to call on the next person. So yes, we have one of our distinguished speaker. Okay, we have some of the best brains in the gas industry in the country, okay, speaking for us today. So I call on Engineer Nathaniel Oyatogun to please come on the high table, please, our speaker. Yes, Engineer Nathaniel Oyatogun is one of the movers of the Nigerian gas industry, one of the pioneers since 1999, when nobody talks about gas. Thank you very much once more. And of course, we also have one of our erudite experts in the gas industry, in the person of Engineer Nathan. Oh, sorry, not engineer. Okay, maybe by the power vested of me, I can just make him an engineer. So when I call on the person of Nathan Unugboa. Mr. Nathan, please. Hello, Nathan. Hey. Okay. So he's right there. He's a very, very humble man. Yeah. So thank you very much, Nathan, and apologies to everybody for the late start. Anyway, and of course, let's also recognize the presence of the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, IEEE, Africa chapter, here present with us, in the person of Engineer Dr. Isaac Odekoya. Engineer Isaac, please. So thank you. So at this point, may I call upon, we are on the safety moment as part of our industry protocol. May I call on Engineer Anthony Albertino Ikechebelu Obumneme FNSC to come and give us safety moment. Safety moment. So thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for him. Yes, and before I take on the microphone, I would like to introduce my humble self. I am Engineer Christian Okwori. So, thank you very much. Yes, thank you. So, I'm a regular face. You'll be seeing me and a whole lot of me along the way. So, thank you. So, Engineer Obumneme, please.
Good afternoon, all. Permit me to stand on existing protocol if there's any. My name is very simple. I've been introduced. But my safety moment, let me talk about time as a safety moment. Time is more important and is very key. It's a unique thing most people ignore. More especially in the continent or in the side of the world that where we find ourselves, called Africa, or more especially Nigeria. If you look around, in fact, most people every time they will tell you African time, African time. The layman understanding of African time means that you are not meeting events or planned as it's supposed to be. You're always late. I believe that when we are growing, once you say African time, you are late or you did not come on time. Now we are in the engineers, I believe in one thing, that for you to be an engineer, you must have passed through stages of life, and you will attest that time is key for everything. Now, as an engineer, whatever, wherever field where you are, whatever you are doing, if you do not work with time at the right time, you cannot meet the expected desire of whatever you are doing. So time is the root of everything. Now let me digest it a bit down to the happenings of the nation or what is happening in the country today. Further, that time matters so much in security. If you don't play with your time in security, you might fall a victim of circumstance. Let me give you an example. There are critical routes in Nigeria today that you can only go within a specific time. You get information to move there. If not, you can be a victim of circumstance. So time is key in terms of movement. Even in your neighborhood, like Lagos, for instance, there are places that you will live. Time matters a lot. Time to leave your house and time to come back to your house. If you live at the odd times, you might fall a victim. So time is still key in terms of movement, wherever you are going. Try to get information. When I mention security, even in the military or whatever, there's what they call intelligence network, informations. All these things goes with time. It's always precise that, okay, at this time, these people will happen, this thing will happen, this thing will happen. It's time. Now coming to our life, where you live or whatever you are doing. Another thing, let's program towards career. If you are putting towards your career, further that we that are inside doing career works or thereabout, you might be thinking that, okay, fine, I will do this so time. If you did not manage your time properly, you might not achieve that which you want to do. For example, you might decide now I want to do project management before December this year. You must work towards it. If not, by December, you have not even enrolled, you have not even done anything, because there's a lot of events that can manage your time for you. So you must be disciplined and have that principle for you to make do with time, for you to achieve your desired goal at the right time. People that are doing project, they will understand that time is key when you are doing your project management. You can't tell a client that I'll deliver so time, and you are not delivering, meaning that you are not reliable, you are not trustworthy. Time is just like saying yes or saying no, but we need to define it. Coming to today's functions, we find out that all of us, even as engineers, we said this is the time. We failed on the time because we did not work towards our time. What it means that all of us need to have that discipline mindset to have value for time, manage time, and make do with time so that you can achieve greatly on your time that you have. Thank you. The floor is open before they take the mic. If anybody has to add anything on the safety moment, permit me. If not, I hand over the mic to Engineer Chris.
Thank you very much, my distinguished fellow Engineer Obumneme, FNSC. Thank you. So, of course, we are going to welcome to the high table the chairman of occasion. Here, ably represented by, I'm talking about chairman of occasion and president of Nigerian School of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aino Oguntola, FNSC. Here, ably represented by Engineer Tosin Ogumola, FNSC. Engineer Tosin, please, to the high table, please. Yes, so by protocol of the Nigerian School of Engineers, the president is the chairman of every event, every occasion. So, thank you very much. It's actually been challenging out there when I'm talking wise of the traffic and everything. So thank you very much, of course. So Madam President actually is supposed to be here in person, but of course there was some presidential appointments in Abuja which came up suddenly and made it, practically impossible. So welcome once more, Engineer Tosin Ogumola. Thank you very, very much and welcome. Yes, so at this point, I'm going to hand over the microphone to the chief host for his welcome speech in the person of Engineer Abiodun Adelokun. Once more.
The president of Nigerian Society of Engineers, ably represented by Engineer Tosin Ogumola, other people on the high table, and fellows of Nigerian Society of Engineers, and members, other people present. Thank you for making this great day of the branch, of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Lekki Peninsula branch. I want to thank God for making it a day for us that our inauguration has come to be. We want to thank the president, the members of the council that graciously approved the branch, and the able engineers that pushed for it. From the beginning, conceiving the idea, nurturing it, and pushing it to the point that it was presented to the council and we got the approval. Thank you very, very much for the effort you put into it. Your effort will continue to be appreciated as the branch continues to mature and move from glory to glory as the journey begins formally today. For the planning committee, I want to say thank you. When the president gave us the date, we all know that Ibadan, the annual general meeting is next week, and the president will be handing over to the new president. So this normally is supposed to be done before she will hand over, and that led to the dates that we were given, and people have to run to make it happen. And for people that are in the planning committee, working together day and night, as Engineer Money mentioned earlier this morning, that it was like they were working 25 hours within 24 hours. So we want to say thank you, and for all of us that are already here, you deserve the commendation. So all I want to say for those of us in this branch is that this is the beginning of a lifetime journey. Let's work together and ensure that as we are the pioneers, we lay a solid foundation so that in the years to come, we become reference points for a good job done. And for our sister branches, VI, LEKKY, Ekpe, we are going to be working together for a very long time because of the proximity. So I'm looking forward to a very collaborative relationship in the years ahead of us. Once again, thanks to everybody, and you are welcome to our inauguration.
Yes, thank you very, very much, our amiable chairman. So, at this juncture, I'll hand over.
She's having an appointment in Abuja, and you are all well aware that our conference will be kicking off on Monday. So we have a number of activities towards that. So I apologize for being here behind schedule. It's important for me to state that it is not in the character of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. It is not in the character of our quintessential president. And we also want to say it is also not in my own character. It was an unusual traffic on the mainland. I came in from the mainland. But from another perspective, what came to my mind while I was in the traffic is the fact that some part of the mainland is actually standing still for Lekki Peninsula branch, and I think we can actually give ourselves a round of applause for that. And just before I go into to understand the mind of the president regarding this event. So just as I've been introduced, I am by name Engineer Olutosin Ogumola. I am a fellow of the society, and for the past 2 years in the administration of Madam President, I've had the privilege to also serve as a member of council. So I'm a member of council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. So I had the privilege to be amongst those who actually approved, the establishment of the NSC Lekki Peninsula branch. And over the past 2 years also, I've had the privilege to serve with Madam President as the chairman of the NSC Strategic Partnerships Committee. And so I have led the team that has supported Madam President in realizing the objectives of the very popular Margaret Oguntala Presidency Strategic Agenda that is known as MOPSA. And going back memory lane, I've also had the privilege to serve as a chairman. So I'm a past chairman of NSC Ikeja branch. And I believe that the Ikeja branch proposed Lekki Peninsula branch. So I served from 2020 to 2022 as chairman of NSC Ikeja branch. That's the 32nd branch. So what's the number of Lekki Peninsula? I hope we know it. 92nd. All right. That is something you should not forget. So we are the 32nd branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, established January 1993. So after serving also as chairman of Ikeja, when our president was going to assume office as president, she called on me and a number of us. She actually put a think tank together. So that think tank is known as Margaret Oguntala Think Tank Presidential Agenda Committee under the leadership of Engineer Olaolu Ogunjuyile, FNSC. So I had served as the secretary of, MOTPAC. So I had served as the secretary of the think tank of the president that created that strategic agenda. And I went on to serve as the secretary of the Presidential Investiture Committee, for Madam President. So over the past 2 years, considering all of the roles that I have actually played, around the administration of Madam President, I have had the privilege to serve a bit unofficially, because it's not an official role, but serving in the kitchen cabinet of Madam President. I've actually been as chief of staff for the past 2 years. So if many of us will be well aware, you hear of Madam President's chief of staff, and that is why he has actually asked me, to be here this morning. I had to leave close to Abeokuta yesterday just to ensure I get back into Lagos, and I took off from from the mainland this morning. So I've tried to lay this, to establish this foundation for us to understand the importance that Madam President actually attaches to this occasion. And we want to first commend, the visionaries that had actually pushed for the establishment of LEKKY Peninsula branch. Yes, they deserve a round of applause. Please, let's do it better. Give them a round of applause. And, when I thought about it, it's also one thing that came to my mind was when some visionaries also stood their ground for the creation of NSE Ikeja branch. Back then in 1993, the founder of the branch has gone to be with the Lord now, in person of late engineer Olu Awoyinfa. They considered then that we had the Ikeja industrial hub. When you consider the likes of Dunlop, the Nigerian textile mills of those days, NIGERIAN, that we had a number of our members in and around that place. And it was becoming a bit difficult or maybe challenging for them to now be moving to Lagos branch to be holding their meetings. So many people will always consider when we push for the creation of more branches, it is not because some people just want to become chairmen. No, it is to get closer to where our members work. It is for you to ensure that you can close from work in the evening, 4, 5, and you are able to just walk a few kilometers to your branch to hold meetings, right? And of course, what the NSA offers is the fact that, of course, it offers networking. It offers the fact that, I tell people, for example, in my home branch, and as I'm speaking, I see that one of our leaders is also walking into the room, a past chairman of NSE Ikeja branch, past member of the National Executive Committee of the NSC, Engineer Charles Akintayo Akintola, FNSC. Please, a round of applause for Engineer Akintola. When you have people like him around, yes, you can be sure that you have backing, right? So thank you so very much, sir. So just like I was saying, in my own branch, for example, we have CEOs of established organizations. And in the same branch, you have young engineers that are just starting off their career. And I tell them that what the NSA branches offer is being a leveler. So you will see a place. Just Saturday, we launched the mentorship program where a number of mentors were matched with mentees. Those who have upward of 10, 15, 20 years, can you allow your journey to now be, their home pathway? So these and many more are the things that branches of the NSC offer. So as we start off LEKKY Peninsula branch, and as I have just commended those who have pushed for this, I want to enjoin us that please, we must not, mind the days of little beginning. But for LEKKY Peninsula branch to hold its own in the years to come, it will require a great deal of commitment. Just like somebody has said that it is easier to get to the top than remaining there. So I want to assure you that the efforts that will be required to sustain the branch is far more than what you put in even in establishing the branch. And you must just be ready to lay a very solid foundation. So having said that, you will permit me now to go into the official remarks of the President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And I would like to also be aware, because there is a part of the remarks, maybe I might need to pause at that point in time, depending on what we have on the agenda. So we can, the point where the official inauguration will be done. I'm not sure that will be part of the remarks, so I will pause at that point. When we get to that point in the agenda, then I will come up to conclude by formally, by the powers conferred on the president and chairman in council to declare, the inauguration of the branch. So now I move to official remarks by the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and chairman in council, of course, Engineer Margaret Aino Oguntala, fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, at the inauguration of the society's 93rd branch, the NSC Lekki Peninsula branch, holding today, Tuesday, 25th November, in Lekki Peninsula, Lagos. Distinguished colleagues, and this is, of course, resting upon the protocols that I had laid when I started my speech. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I wholeheartedly welcome you all to this auspicious event, being the ceremony for the official inauguration of NSC Lekki Peninsula branch. On Thursday, 11th September 2025, the Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, at its 463rd session, approved the establishment of NSC Lekki Peninsula branch, being the 93rd in our branch network, by Article 17, Sub-Article 2A and B of the Memorandum and Article of Association, MEMAT, of the NSC. I am indeed elated that a cream of our colleagues are here assembled to celebrate the symbolic inauguration of this new branch, which promises to be vibrant in all ramifications. Commendations. I would like to begin by expressing my deepest appreciation to the Lagos State branches for their outstanding support in the realization of this new branch. And that will refer to the existing branches in Lagos before Lekki Peninsula branch. And by that, we'll refer to NSC Lagos branch, NSC Ikeja branch, NSC Victoria Island branch, NSC Apapa branch, NSC Egbin Ikorodu branch, and then NSC Ibeju-Lekki branch. And let me also state that on the president's entourage with me officially this morning, we are to have the chairman of NSC Victoria Island branch, NSC Ibeju-Lekki branch, and NSC Ekpe branch. So I think Ekpe should be our baby. I think Ekpe should be the 94th, right? So I expect to still have the chairman of those branches here. So the tireless efforts of the Lagos State branches, their collaboration and dedication have played an integral role in bringing the NSC Lekki Peninsula branch to fruition. This inauguration today represents the start of a new chapter in the society's journey, and it is now up to all of us to ensure that it becomes operational in earnest and being outstanding. I also commend the executive committee and the members for working tirelessly to bring this dream to reality. Your efforts resonate with the philosophy of the NSC, which is grounded in the pursuit of excellence, innovation, and service to humanity. Today, as we officially launch this branch, we recognize the vital role you will play in actualizing the NSC strategic agenda. You will recollect in my speech before I started Madam President's remarks, I referred to the Margaret Oguntala presidency strategic agenda. But of course, as many of us are aware, that strategic agenda has actually been adopted by the Nigerian Society of Engineers as a long-term blueprint and it is today known as NSC Strategic Document. And what Madam President is saying here is that by officially launching this branch today, she is recognizing the vital role that we will all play in actualizing that NSC strategic agenda. Professional development of members. The professional development of our members must remain at the forefront of the agenda of this branch. I urge you to prioritize the provision of training, workshops, and seminars that address contemporary engineering challenges. Collaborate with the institutions, industries, and like-minded professional bodies within your domain to offer our members opportunities for growth, certification, and the acquisition of knowledge. By doing so, you will elevate the competence of our members in no small measure. Community impact through engineering. I call on the leadership and members right from these early years of the branch to take the opportunity to create programs, initiatives, and activities that will strengthen the society's presence and impact in your vicinity. The programs should reflect the commitment to the socio-economic growth of the immediate communities. Use your resources, your knowledge, and your networks to support community development through engineering projects in these communities. Liaising with government and industry. As part of the effort to influence policy and decision making, which is one of the cardinal issues that the NSC pursue, I encourage you to establish and maintain strong liaisons with the relevant government institutions and industries. Your role as a bridge between these institutions is vital for favorable collaborations that can benefit our people. Focus on STEM education. I strongly advise you to champion the intensification of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM education amongst our school children. The future of engineering lies in the hands of the next generation, and it is our responsibility to inspire, mentor, and guide them. Collaborate with educational institutions, community organizations, and industries to promote STEM programs, scholarships, and mentorship opportunities for our schools. And by our schools, that we even refer to secondary schools and, of course, our higher institutions of learning. So the ones that we have around us, we should inspire STEM programs, scholarships, and mentorship opportunities. By so doing, you will be contributing to the development of a robust pipeline of future engineers who will continue the legacy of excellence that the NSC represents. Membership deals. It is imperative that I also address an issue of great concern to the headquarters, and that is the matter of non-payment of dues by members or by some members. The payment of dues is the lifeline of our great society, and I urge you all to take this matter seriously. Membership dues ensure that the NSC remains strong, functional, and able to execute its responsibilities. I believe that we all know that before we could be established as a branch, it was because we have at least 50 up-to-date members, at least. So, and I know we have had situations where after inauguration, some branches, begin to decline. and then you check up their data and you see that maybe you have maybe not even up to 20 people who are up to date. For your chairman to remain a member of council, we must maintain that number, and then we must continue. Yes, I've seen situations where chairmen of branches were actually excused from the council meeting because when they checked the record at that material time, he could not provide up to 50 members that were up to date with their membership dues. So this is very critical, and just like Madam President has said here, it is the only way we can continue to fulfill our responsibilities and obligations as the foremost engineering organizations, not only in Africa, but even in the world. For our guests who are here who might not know, we have branches outside the shores of Nigeria. We have branches in the Americas. We have branches in Europe. And we even have branches in Asia. So this is a global organization. And it's an NGO. We do not take anything from the government. It's an association of ourselves as members. So the only way we continue to survive and thrive is through membership dues. And that is the emphasis that Madam President is laying here. The National Engineering Conference and Annual General Meeting. I also want to use this opportunity to remind you all of our flagship event, being the 2025 National Engineering Conference Exhibition and Annual General Meeting, AGM, which will hold between the 1st and the 5th of December 2025. That would mean from Monday to Friday next week. The theme of this year's conference is Engineering Innovation for a Sustainable Blue Economy. And I think if there is any branch that should actually take interest in this topic, it should be branches like Lekky Peninsula who should drive our blue economy, being, on Lagos Island. So this is something that should interest us. I was going to ask us, for those who have actually registered to attend the conference, but I won't go there again. Just like Madam President has encouraged us here, I want to encourage everybody to be in Ibadan. It's not far away. Under 1 hour, 30 minutes from here, you are in Ibadan. So we are not going to Abuja again this year. So it's just around here for us. So with over 6,000 participants from Nigeria and abroad, this year's conference promises to be one with a difference. I look forward to your participation. And by your participation, Madam President is not saying just our participation as a branch, but she's talking about my participation as an individual and your participation as an individual. And here is Madam President's prayer. May the NSC Lekky Peninsula branch flourish. I will take that again because I was expecting a lot more resounding amen. May the NSC Lekky Peninsula branch flourish. And may your endeavors bring glory to our profession and positive change to our society. So this last part, I will hold it until we get to that point in the agenda, because that is the point of declaration, formal and official declaration for the inauguration of NSC Lekky Peninsula branch. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you very, very much. Please, a round of applause, please. Yes. Thank you very, very much, Madam President, for that very, very passionate message to all of us. Thank you, thank you. And I want to assure you, Madam President, that regarding blue economy, in part of our executive positions created, blue economy, that is marine, engineering, and blue economy is part of the positions we created. So thank you very much. Yes, and also for the AGM, our annual general meeting and national conference. For those of us who have been following keenly goings on our WhatsApp groups, we have about over 65 members, am I correct? Over 65 members who are going for the AGM. And not just that, so I'm very, very happy with individual companies for the great effort they are making. I also must thank our chairman, Engineer Biodun, and other people in Chevron for the, for the effort, for the number of people that sending, even breaking traditional protocol and doing. I must also thank the people of Seplat, okay, Energy, for sending about 15 of the engineers that HR confirmed to me yesterday evening. I must also thank MTN Nigeria, Mobile Telecommunication Network, for the great effort, in particularly the person of my friend and brother engineer Carl Toriola, and one of our executive officers here, engineer Omosu Yedenwoyi, who also works as his PA, one of our executives, for their great effort, for MTN Nigeria also sending some of their engineers. In case you don't know, MTN has the largest number of engineers. Okay, we have there over 12,700 engineers. So thank you very, very much, everybody. And I want to assure you, Madam President, that our branch will be ably represented at the NSC National Conference. Remember, even when we are yet to come up officially in Abuja, we represented big time. We are going to do much more here in Ibadan that is just behind our back. And a lot of things is going on, so I don't want to tell us any more things. So thank you very, very much. Before I proceed, yes, let me also recognize, and welcome to the high table, the representative of Engineer Valerie Aberuagba, FNSE, former Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and also a prospect or a candidate for the Deputy Presidency of the Society. So let us welcome to the high table the person of Engineer Edi Isabi, former Chairman, Nigerian Society of Engineers, Sapele branch. So all the way from Delta State, Sapele, please a round of applause, representing our incoming Deputy President by the grace of God. So thank you very, very much, and everyone and everything. So thank you and welcome very much, Engineer Isabi, Engineer Valeria Biragwa. So thank you. So at this juncture, we are going to be welcoming to the first speaker of our occasion today. Okay, we have a very, very insightful topic, and that is what? Domestic gas infrastructure development in Nigeria, opportunities and challenges. You see, everything in this country revolves around energy. People are complaining of hardship. Country is hard, country is hard. They don't know that everything boils down to energy. When energy is available, when energy is well served optimally, I bet you cost of living will go down. The economy will be moving. You will not even remember what is wrong with the country. Just ordinary fuel subsidy alone is what is causing this. Imagine when gas is now plentifully available. And challenges have been developing gas infrastructure is what has been holding us back. From gas, we can fuel our vehicles. From gas, we can cook our food more cheaply. Mama Nkechi, Mama Ikaite will cook and the food will not be expensive. People can eat easily. Okay? With gas, transportation costs will go down. With gas, industrial products, including my phone, all the plastic items you have around you, cannot be manufactured very, very cost effectively. Yes, with gas, with the feedstock and everything. So, may I welcome to the, okay, sorry, I think there's a breach, there's a change, a little change, a slight change. So we want to conduct the inauguration process, okay, right away, so that there will be impediment to, so that we can be more free with the speech, with the lecture. Thank you very much. As I hand over to the president. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, dear moderator. So I think it's important before we go into the remaining parts of the event that we actually have that formal inauguration. And then, of course, I think at that point, I believe we have the, what's it called now? All of the ESCO here. So I think it's good we just file out and then we can have the declaration. I expect our media to support. It should be a moment, of rejoicing that, we can have the right kind of background music if it is standing up for the champions or something as we formally declare the branch inaugurated. So I'd like, please, Mr. Chair, for you and your team to just stand here with me. So can we please come forward? Let's give them a round of applause. A round of applause. So I would like to please invite forward Engineer Charles Akitayo Akintola FNSC to please step forward. And the members of the high table to also please step forward. It is upon this, my apologies to those who might not relate with what the statement I want to make now. Of course, I do this even beyond the profession. When we talk about faith, there is a portion where one of the founders and the foundation of a particular faith says, upon this rock will I build. So this is the rock upon which Lekky Peninsula will be built. These are the people you will need to challenge. If this branch, will not only survive but thrive, you are becoming founding fathers. If you get to some branches, like if you get to a Keja branch now, you will see a place we name Oluwawonyefa Hall. Even the entirety of our premises, we name it after Ralph Alabi Engineering Complex. So in the days to come, in the years to come, it is your names. It will only be if those names are written in gold. If you now don't lay the right foundation, they will even want to say, let's forget about our beginning. But I trust, the minds that are here. So, and for Mr. Chairman, you don't have your medallion here? He doesn't have for now. Okay. So it will come as a handshake. So what I will just do, once I read the declaration by Madam President, just about 2-3 lines, we will just go around to congratulate all of them. Please let the chairman come, yes, to start. So in the words of the President and Chairman in Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Margaret Aino Oguntala, FNSC. So this is in our words. By the grace of God Almighty and the common will of the Nigerian engineers expressed through the Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, I hereby officially inaugurate the Nigerian Society of Engineers Lekky Peninsula branch. There must still be something for us to, at least, so after that we can take a group picture. Please, let's take a group picture with them. Okay. So, having now inaugurated the branch cannot stand alone. So the branch is to be run on behalf of the Council of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, ably led by the President and Chairman in Council, Engineer Margaret Aino Oguntala FNSC. The Branch Executive Committee, ESCO, will be running the affairs of this branch in 100% alignment with the branch bylaws. So that is one thing I will encourage all ESCO members. You must familiarize yourselves with the branch bylaws of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Yes, the branch bylaws, and of course under the MEMAT, that's the Memorandum and Article of Association of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. It's a society that is run purely on rules and regulation. It's not something that one person can hijack. We have seen situations where some people want to perpetuate themselves as life chairmen, council will always stand its ground based on its laws, the MEMAT and the branch bylaws. So at the end of the day, the chairman is the first amongst equals, right? He is representing the president and the council here to be supported by the HESCO. But the branch chairman is not like a lord of the manor. You understand? He's also guided, the responsibilities and obligations of every ESCO role is in the branch bylaw. So, Mr. Chairman, I would like that you get copies that, members of your HESCO, we have. So what will follow the inauguration of the branch now is to inaugurate, the branch executive committee, and I mean the branch chairman rather. And then once the chairman is inaugurated, he is empowered by Madam President to inaugurate his ESCO. So, and we don't currently have the medallion. So that's one of the things that's actually, but of course, it is nothing out of place. It doesn't, diminish, the significance of what is taking place. So we will be representing with this lapel of the Nigerian Society of Engineers to inaugurate the branch chairman, after which, ideally, it will have just, we don't have the, what's it called now? The oath of office here, but I will guide the chairman in actually inaugurating your HESCO. We will just say a few lines just to have their commitment. And from there, we know that the branch can now run effectively. I trust my leader here is already looking for that oath of office. So that will make the job of the chairman easier. But what I will do on behalf of Madam President, so Mr. Chairman, you will just, once I say I, you will put your name, sir. And all I just want from you is the commitment to the branch, in the fear of God, and of course, in accordance with the Memorandum and Article of Association of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. So we go now, sir. I. Can we don't have two microphones? So we can quickly get another. It's important that members and even witnesses here can hear our chairman. Okay. So you can come this way, sir. You can just hold it, yes. All right, so I, just a moment. Okay. So please, let's pay attention. This is a very important point that we have got into. So, Mr. Chairman, this is the oath of office as you are inaugurated today as the branch chairman, following the inauguration of the branch. So, I,
Abiodun Olugbade Adelokun,
hereby pledge
hereby pledged
to uphold and abide by all the provisions of the Memorandum and Article of Association of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and all the provisions of the branch bylaws for LEKKY Peninsula branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and any amendments thereof. As I offer myself to serve as the chairman of LEKKY Peninsula branch. So help me God.
Thank
So, Mr. Chairman, you will now have to do the same, for your members. So kindly let us just have. Theirs is very straightforward. You just read it and then they put the branch name there. So there is an oath of office that we should have printed out. You'll have entered your names and signed. So what we have here is to say, we, the undersigned. But Mr. Chairman, you will take it the other way around. They will just say their names that they mention their name, then you continue there hereby, and that will be their pledge. So please, a round of applause for Mr. Chairman as he performs his first official duty of inaugurating the branch executive committee. Please, a better round of applause for Mr. Chairman.
Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions.
I, Omoni Busi Patrick.
Hereby pledge
Hereby pledge
to uphold and abide
to uphold and abide
by all the provisions of these bylaws
of all the provisions of these bylaws
for Lekky Peninsula branch of Nigeria Society of Engineers
for Lekky Peninsula branch of Nigerian Society of Engineers
and amendment thereof.
and amendment thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
So congratulations. We can still have that song, please, as the match. Have we greeted them? So please, let's congratulate the ESCO members too. Let's have the champion song. They are indeed champions, taking the lead to actually take the branch to the next level. So with that, they can just march back. But Mr. Chairman, what you will still do, you will get a copy of that oath of office so you can feel it's something that you will have to file. Is the commitment they have made. So please, a round of, okay, yes, group picture, please. Let's have the group picture with them. Thank you.
Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just life, that's how it is. 'Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? I'm on the move, make way for me. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions.
Thank you very, very much. And congratulations, everyone. I must commend all the organizing committee and the ESCO team. Just like somebody rightly said, they've been working for 24 hours a day for the last 10 days. I mean, I've never seen where people in just 10 days, or let us say effectively 6 days, to plan this event. I mean, some things just look somehow impossible, but it happens, even with zero balance. But thank God for everybody, thank God for everything. Yes, so at this point, we are going to be welcoming the how do I call it, the speaker, one of the speakers, to come and give us his presentation on domestic gas infrastructure development in Nigeria, challenges and opportunity. Yes, we have energy problem, but inside the energy problem, there's a lot of opportunity. A lot of people will become billionaires as I speak in the process of solving this energy problem. Nigeria only have about 5% gas penetration. So imagine what will happen by the time we cover just 20%, 25%. There's a whole lot. There's a big opportunity. Those who are jackbarring, I always encourage them to jackbar so that we will not have much competitors left. Okay? So please, this is an economy that has a lot, it's a very pristine economy, a very pristine industry, and engineers are actually at the forefront of driving this. Okay, so and we'll have some of the best speakers anybody can get in the country today speaking on this topic. So this is a great topic that can change your life. I'm talking of if you are the type that knows about business, you are the type that knows about taking opportunity technically, commercially, and in every aspect that has to do with it. So our advice, you listen with rapt attention, and if you have somebody that is not here who you think needs to be here, let the person do anything in this world possible to be here before the lectures run out. Thank you very, very much. At this point, I welcome the person of Engineer Nathaniel Oyatogun. Thank you. Please, please, help me, Engineer Nathaniel's citation, please. Can you help me project it, please? Engineer Nathaniel Oyatogun's citation, can you help me project it, please? So that let us see the people that we have here. So for the next 15 minutes, he's going to be speaking to us. And we also have another great man in the person of Engineer Nathan Unugboa, okay, who is also going to be piecing this subject matter for us. So then we'll now have we'll also have 15 minutes, and also have another 10 minutes or 15 minutes to analyze. I want to encourage you, don't be in a hurry to go anywhere. There's a lot to eat and drink. There's more than enough to eat, drink, and take away. You are in the best place that anybody could possibly be today and at this material time. So just feel free, relax. This is Lekky Peninsula branch. We do things top notch. We do things top notch. We give the best, or don't even bother at all. That's our philosophy. So you have the best, the cream de la creme, okay, of the industry right in here with us. So please, can you please project his citation so that we can take his citation, please? Very quickly, please. So we are going to be doing the citations of the two speakers, okay, pari passu. So thank you very much. Hello? Okay, yes. Yes, so we have, yes, Engineer Nathaniel Oyatogun actually is my friend, okay, right from, a couple of years back. So he's a very, very great man, you know. So Engineer Nathaniel Oyatogun is the Managing Director and CEO of Aspen Energy Limited, an integrated energy company across the oil and gas, power, energy space, providing consultant services for upstream, midstream, and downstream sectors. He's a pioneer member of the Nigerian Gas Association. Okay, that is way back 1998 or 99. Okay, a leading voice in International Gas Union, where he has served on various committees and represented Nigeria at various world gas conferences. He's often called Mr. Gas, in attestation of the critical role he has played in the Nigerian gas industry as a technical, commercial, and operational professional. Professional engineer. He has leadership positions as the chair of OPTS Gas Subcommittee and was one of the arrowheads of Nigerian Gas Master Plan for inception at the OPTS level. Next slide, please. Nigerian Gas Master Plan, which is the governing document today for Nigerian gas industry. And of course, he has developed Gas Master Plan for River States, Oyo State, Ondo State, etc. at one time or another in his career, and was the lead negotiator of novel wet gas agreements for ANO Gas Processing Company, AGPC, as well as a key leader in what excellence growth of natural gas business in Seplat Energy PLC, the leading independent player in Nigeria sector, where he was pioneer in charge of the flagship gas supply agreement to Azura Integrated Power Project, which is still the best model for gas to power solution for reliability, sustainability, and private sector-led investments from the reservoir to what? To electrons backed by bankable agreement. That is gas to power project. Please, another round of applause, please. He started his career in the oil and gas industry as a maintenance engineer, supervising maintenance activities across several oil flow stations, gas processing plants using low temperature separation, LTS, I think including cryogenic as well, technology, or low temperature extraction, LTX technique. From there, he moved to become a well site petroleum engineer responsible for drilling and completion of several oil and gas wells, both vertical and highly deviated, before the advent of horizontal wells in Nigeria. He supervised highly technical activities such as coring, fracturing, and packing, as well as multi-rate deliverability tests, including caliper survey, among others. Next slide, please. He is a member of the following professional associations, wherein he has won numerous awards for technical excellence, service and industry, Society of Petroleum Engineers, SPE, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, ASME, the Nigerian Gas Association, NGA, etc., among several others. He was involved in the development of electricity power sector reform, ESPRA Act of 2005, and worked on the Nigerian Gas Transmission Network Code, NGTNC development since 2011, the National Gas Policy, and served on OPTS team evaluating various inputs to Petroleum Industry Act, PIA, until final enactment into an act of National Assembly. Has also served as various committee of the International Gas Union organizers of World Gas Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for this great man standing beside me. So thank you very, very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Let me start on existing protocol, and I want to thank you all for being here. Congratulations to my chairman, and basically I'm so delighted here today because it's a dream come true to have a branch of NSC very, very close to home. So you will see more of me by the grace of God, and I plan to, be a part and parcel of this wonderful association. Thank you very much. I'll just quickly run through my presentation, and I want to assure you that there is a lot of opportunity out there, but we'll start with the challenges, and please feel free. You can always reach out to me. My passion, my goal, my prayer is that in our lifetime, we will have transformational changes by utilizing the abundant natural gas that God has given us in Nigeria. And as you will see towards the end, the people that make the difference with all these challenges, with all the opportunities, the people that make the difference are the engineers. So it might not be rosy right now, but it is not all gloom and doom. There are lots of things that you can learn from the gas sector. So we'll quickly run through as I move along. Please go on to the next slide. Yeah, so this is, just for the formal inauguration, and all protocols have been observed. So I'm going to talk about a little introduction and set the scene to know what exactly are we talking about gas. And then we will look at the opportunities for Nigeria and what is the main challenge and the problem that we have. So, next slide. The world currently is expected to be about 9 billion people by the year 2050. That's a whole lot of people and population. But one thing about the 9 billion is that, we just crossed 7 billion and moved to 8 billion just about a year or so ago. And between now and 2050, you will have 9 billion mouths to feed. The world needs energy, abundant energy, for many things, for everything that we have come to realize today as crucial for life. We move around, we travel by air, we travel by road, we travel by boat, we travel on scooters, bicycles, and so many other things. We have our homes on energy. We have Internet of Things. We have so many things that have come to depend on energy. And the world does not want just any type of energy, but clean, sustainable energy. And that can come from many sources. But of all the fossil fuel, it is natural gas that is the best of all the fossil fuels because of the characteristics of natural gas, in that it is abundant, it is acceptable, and it is affordable. So these are the triple A's of natural gas. Why did we say it's abundant or acceptable? The world has enormous resources of natural gas. Nigeria, which currently ranks about 9th globally, currently sits on proven reserves of about 210 TCF, trillion cubic feet of natural gas. Now, at the current production level, that will last Nigeria for a long time. But apart from that level of reserve that is proven, all right, there is also the scope for recovery, which is about 600 TCF. And by the year 2030, Nigeria wants to be producing about 12 billion standard cubic feet of gas per day. If you multiply that by 365 days in a year, that means we want to be producing about 4.3 TCF of gas per annum. Now, remember, we currently have 210. And between now and 2030, we will still discover some little gas here and there as we drill for oil. We have not started exploration for gas. So the opportunities are enormous. And at that level of production, it means that Nigeria can still be powered from 2030 for another 150 years of sustainable energy from natural gas. So you can just imagine how the opportunities are enormous. But currently, Nigeria is not getting what it deserves from the natural gas. And why is that so? When you look at it, about 70% of the gas that we produce in Nigeria is currently used for power generation. But what is the total power that we are generating and putting in the national grid? As of today, we are doing less than 7.5 gigawatts on the national grid in terms of wheeling capacity. For a population of 220 million people, that is a poor energy per capita. We live in darkness, we run generators, we live with the noise, with the fumes from diesel, from petrol, and so many other fuels. When we have abundant natural gas that we can use effectively to power our economy. So, what is then the problem? Currently, the major problem is infrastructure. And as you will see in the course of my presentation, there are challenges along this. So there's the paradox of natural gas in Nigeria. Next slide. The paradox of natural gas is just, surprising to everybody. We have 210 TCF, but we are currently producing for domestic consumption less than 2 BCF per day. Very, very poor. We have promised the global community that we shall put out flares by the year 2030. We shall put out routine flares. But are we there yet? The answer is no. Even as at last year, 2024, when we moved down the list to become the number 9th worst flaring nation, what we want is that we want to be out of that league completely, and that is to put out routine flares because it is degrading the environment. All right? Now, by 2027, the NNPC group CEO has put a projection there that Nigeria should produce 10 BCF of natural gas. That is both for domestic market as well as the export market. As at today, Train 7 is under construction, and it will take the total national production for the LNG trains to about 30 million metric tons per annum. It's currently at 22. So Train 7 will do another 8 million metric tons per annum. And by 2030, you're looking at 12 BCF per day. That's when we will deplete about 4.3 TCF. So if we have 600 TCF, why don't we go for it? Why don't we go after it? What is holding us back? That's what we want to look at. So this is flaring, the picture of flaring. Next slide. The picture of flaring is that we're currently, as at 2024, we're number 9. We want to get out of that league. We don't want to show. This is not where we want to be. We want to show how much gas is transforming the economy and what are the areas that it can transform the economy. So we started with the Nigerian Gas Master Plan. And the Nigerian Gas Master Plan rests on 3 pillars. Next slide. The slide after this, please. The next slide. The Nigerian Gas Master Plan. So at the top left corner of the slide that you have ahead of you, the Nigerian Gas Master Plan rests on 3 pillars. Number 1 pillar is bankable and commercial agreements. That means for the gas that you are going to produce, it is not like oil, where you produce your oil to the terminal, somebody is waiting to buy it. Before you develop your gas resource, you must first have a market that is going to. Because you can't produce gas and just leave it out there or you store it. It's not easily storable like you have for oil. So one of the ways we can then move it around is to liquefy it. But you can't just build an LNG plant. You must have a market. You must have the ships that will take the LNG from your liquefaction plant to the designated market. Right? So that's the first pillar, which is by your left side. Then, in addition to bankable commercial agreement, the second pillar, which is very important, is infrastructure blueprint. And that's where we are lagging behind. We're lagging behind seriously in terms of infrastructure development. As far back as 2008, when we rolled out the first domestic supply obligation for gas producers, it was expected that by 2013, which is 5 years after 2008, the OB3, which is Obiafo Obricom to Oben pipeline, would have been in place. But I'm sorry to say that 13 years after construction started, the pipeline that is just 127 kilometers, 127 kilometers, is yet to be completed as we speak. 127 kilometers. Russia built Nord Stream 1 pipeline, which is 48-inch, the same size as the one we're building in OB3, and it is 1,210 kilometers in 3 months. In 30 months, which is 2.5 years, all right? The second pipeline was built in 36 months, which is 3 years. But for 13 years, we're struggling with just 127 kilometers of pipeline. We're not serious. And that's where engineers like you, like me, need to come to the redemption of this country. We must make a decision to take back our country and do projects and do them right. It doesn't make sense that for 13 years you have been waffling around, and what is left? I was discussing with one of my colleagues earlier this morning as we were waiting to start. For the past 6 or 7 years, that project has been at 95%. Sometimes they will take it to 98%, then they will bring it back to 93%. Simply because we needed to cross a river which is less than 5 kilometers. It's just about 2 kilometers. And we're waffling around. But we have engineers in this country that can do it. We've brought in 5 teams. So we need to do something differently if we're to resolve the infrastructure problem. The next thing that we need to be aware of, the next pillar, the third pillar, okay, has to do with legal and fiscal framework. So we do have today, so you'll see under that building, you'll see the PIA, a legal framework, and it contains the fiscals to manage the gas industry. All right? And then you have a sample of an agreement by the right-hand side. So if we can get these three things right, then we would have made progress with respect to the gas industry in Nigeria. Next slide. Now, so what exactly is the problem with infrastructure? That's what we want to see. What are the challenges? There are 7 main challenges that I want to talk about today. Now, the first from the left-hand corner has to do with infrastructure gap and bottlenecks in the backbone network. So today, we have the ELPS, Escravos Lagos Pipeline System, which is about 614 kilometers from Escravos Beach up until Lagos Beach. And that pipeline extends from Lagos Beach to Ghana, through Togo and through Republic of Benin. All right? Then, we started construction of the AKK pipeline. Thankfully, the construction started during or immediately after COVID, and there has been some acceleration. They were hoping that they will achieve mechanical completion this November, but they're not there yet. Hopefully, with current efforts, that might be ready next year. And that pipeline will take gas from Ajaokuta to Abuja, Abuja to Kaduna, Kaduna to Kano, and open up the corridor in the northern flank so that industries can come back. So the first major problem is infrastructure gap. And if we're able to resolve the infrastructure gap, then we would have made some progress. In addition to the infrastructure gap, the current network is poorly run. It's not being run effectively. So there's a lot of leakages in terms of the gas that is produced into the pipeline and what is made available or what is paid to the gas producers. So the shippers who are moving gas in the pipeline, they are suffering because they are not getting the full value of their gas, and the gas producers don't get the full value. There's unaccounted for gas, and there's huge losses in the pipeline. The second thing is that we have weak and commercial framework and non-cost reflective pricing. So that's a commercial issue. And what do we mean by that? We are currently under regulated regime, all right? Altogether, the ELPS pipeline, ELPS 1 and 2, the AK pipeline, the OB3 pipeline, the pipeline from Shagamu that will go through Ibadan to Ilorin, all right? And any other pipeline that you have, maybe in Obigbo to Alscon and some small parts of the eastern flank, the total pipeline network that Nigeria has is less than 5,000 kilometers of pipeline. For a country with a population of 222 million people, that is a far cry. So engineers, there are opportunities. Let us take opportunities. Apart from that, the third major problem, major challenge, is security and vandalism. Before, we used to hear of vandalization of oil pipelines because people want to steal crude, all right? They steal the crude, put it into siphons, put it into drums, put it into, get a hose, put it into barges, and then take it to vessels that are waiting, and they go and sell it. But now, they have extended that nonsense to gas pipeline because they are looking for condensate. Because with your condensate, you can run your petrol car, and you can do a number of other things. Now, that is crazy. And what can we do? There are things that we can do when we go towards the end of my presentation. The fourth major problem and challenge is regulatory and legal institutional complexity. So as of today, we have NMDPRA, we have NUPRC, we have NCDMB, we have NNPC, all trying to do one thing or another. But thankfully, PIA has taken NNPC out of regulatory role. So the confusion right now still exists between NMDPRA and NUPRC. And that needs to be resolved for us to grow the big market that is available in the gas sector. Problem number 5, underinvestment and poor project execution. You can imagine you are building a 127-kilometer pipeline, 13 years, and no end in sight. It's a shame. That's not what engineering is all about. Engineers solve problem. We think, we look at the problem, we resolve it. If we need to build a bridge, we build it. If we need to drill a tunnel, we drill a tunnel. If we need to, move things across, we do it. If we need to fly the pipeline across the river, we do it. But to sit down and be waffling for 13 years for 127 kilometers of pipeline is a shame. And Nigerian Society of Engineers, Lekky Peninsula, we can make a difference. So by this time next year, I want to reach out to as many of you. Come talk with us. Let's look at opportunities where you can thrive. Because we organize training, we do a lot of things to build capacity so that you can go out there and let's make a difference. Number 6 is limited last mile opportunities. And what do we mean by last mile? So you have the main trunk line that brings gas to the city gate. And then from the city gate, you distribute it within a particular distribution zone. We need more investment in this. For CNG, for LPG, LPG is cleaner than using biomass, than using wood, than using firewood, coal, and many other dirty fuels that people in the rural areas use right now because they cannot afford to buy gas, because they don't have money, because, it's just close to them. They go to pick some firewood, they go to pick coal. But when they are using coal, there are noxious emissions from coal that kill people, that kill newborn, because some people are not aware that, the coal is contaminated. It's not clean. So we need to do something about that. And then the final challenge, number 7, is the fact that you don't have adequate metering along the extensive pipeline. It is only recently that NGIC started installing meters and check valves and line break valves along their network. They didn't have it before, so it used to bring a lot of reconciliation problem between producers and between those who are buying the gas and the transporter. So the transportation network, which is meant to be open access, once you book or reserve capacity in the pipeline, you are allowed to flow your gas, and you just pay your tariff and then you move away. But people discover that, right now, if you put in X million standard cubic feet of gas at the entry point, at the exit point, you have X minus Y. Who bears the loss of that X minus Y? And that's why people are trying to invest more in gas, because if they cannot get back their money, they will not be willing to invest in gas. Another sad thing is the fact that gas producers are being owed because there's illiquidity in the power sector. So the discos don't collect enough money, and they pass that on, that inefficiency, they pass it on to the gas producers. And currently the industry is being owed about 4.3 trillion naira for gas that was supplied not today, not last year, but several years ago. So why do you want me to invest in gas? If I built a gas facility 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and I don't have my full amount of money for the gas that I have supplied, I would rather drill oil wells and sell my oil. A tanker comes to take it and I get my money immediately, than to wait 5, 6, 7 years. So the government is just still trying to say, okay, we will raise a bond, we'll find a way to give you credit and all those things. Before you do that, time has moved on. So these are the 7 challenges. But it's not all gloom and doom. What are the opportunities? That's what we want to quickly look at before I stop. So there are 2 main pipeline systems in the country. There is a dedicated gas pipeline, which you can see. Next slide. Yeah, thank you. All right. So the top left-hand corner of the chart that is ahead of you, that is the gas pipeline that is dedicated to LNG supply. It is ring-fenced. It used to be free from attack until about a year or two ago. Since inception in 1999, they spike condensate into the gas pipeline, recover it at the LNG terminal, and then they sell the condensate, they sell LPG, they sell other products apart from the LNG. And it's been a very good cash cow, all right? Then you have the three other diagrams are talking about the same thing, and that is the domestic network. That's where we have the big elephant in the room. That's where we have the biggest problem, all right? So apart from the fact that the projects are running late, so ELPS 2, which is just to double the capacity of ELPS 1, took so many years just to lay the same size of pipeline along an existing right of way. But thankfully, that is now in operation. But it is in operation haphazardly. It is not in full capacity operation because you require midline compression to make sure that the gas gets to the farthest destination. That midline compression, as we speak today, is years behind schedule, but it's not yet in place. When you compress it, then you can transmit the gas to the farthest distance along the network. So these are where opportunities exist for pipeline engineers, for commercial people to think, bring your engineering cap, and let's see how we can resolve these things. I'll quickly just run through, as I round up the presentation, the challenge and the infrastructure gap and the things that I mentioned about, okay, what can we do about them? And that's where the opportunities come in. Next slide. Next, just go to next two slides. Next slide. All right, so what are the main opportunities? The main opportunities, there are also 7 main opportunities, just like you have 7 challenges. The first one is the gas to power backbone. So if we focus our attention on gas to power, I told you earlier on that about 70% of the gas that we currently produce goes to power plant. We need to produce more than 7.5 gigawatts, all right? And then we need to produce the power close to where it is required. What will happen when you do that? You will reduce your A, T, C, and C losses. What does that mean? Aggregate technical, commercial, and collection losses. Because if you transmit power on your high tension cable, 330 kVA, all right? By the very nature of the electrons, by the very nature of the conductors, by the very nature of electromagnetism, by the very nature of the laws of physics, you're going to have losses along the line. So why do I need to generate power in Lagos and send it all the way to Maiduguri? Why can't I transport gas to close to Maiduguri, generate the power, drop down the voltage, and use it close to where it is needed? I would have reduced what? Transmission losses. I would have reduced collection losses, because what I'm supplying will be taken by the DISCO and paid for timeously, all right? So that is one opportunity. The second one is LPG and clean cooking transition, all right? We have abundance of LPG, and that will free our rural dwellers from using firewood, coal, biomass, cow dung, and so many other things that they use, which is convenient for them, but is injurious to their health. And then CNG. So the presidential CNG initiative is there, and it has helped to move things forward, all right? So you now have many cars in the cities running on CNG, but that penetration rate is just too small. We need to do something about it. We need to have more compressor stations. We need to have mother stations, daughter stations. We need to have opportunities to make sure that the CNG penetrates across the entire country so that industries can run on gas, our cars can run on gas, our homes, cooking, we can run on gas. But we are not going to advocate for cooking gas before you have the heavy industries and the commercial outlets that will pay for the pipeline infrastructure that is required to make that possible. All right? So the next, the third item, opportunity, is, number 4, is that we have opportunity for gas-based industries. We need to build more fertilizer plants. We need to build more urea plants. We need to build more methanol plants. And these will take the natural gas, convert it to these gas-based industries, all right, and provide value-added products that we can sell, that can generate employment opportunities. If we build a fertilizer plant in the 6 geopolitical zones, we don't need to move fertilizer from Dangote fertilizer in Lekki all the way to the north. We can take the gas there through the AKK. We generate, we produce the fertilizer close to where the farmers are. You reduce transportation cost, you reduce losses, because right now some governors, they're just making business with fertilizer. When they collect allocation from the federal government, what do? They give it to their cronies who will sell it other than the control price, and then the farmers cannot get it at the affordable price, and so the farmers cannot use it. All right? So then the next thing is we need to do something about the flared gas. The 7% of gas that we are flaring is still too much. And if we are to meet our target of 2030 to put out all routine flares, then we must make sure that the flare gas commercialization program, which is currently being administered by NUPRC, must be more transparent. And engineers can come in here and help them to manage and run the process. Number 7 is that, number 6, regional export and LNG expansion. I mentioned earlier on, Train 7 is currently under construction, but as of today, if we were to go by the initial projection that we made to President Olusegun Obasanjo when NGA was formed in 1999, by now, Nigeria should be talking of not less than 12 trains. But what happened? Along the line, OKLNG, Olule, Brass LNG, Olule, we left that. We need to come back to those projects because they are cash cows. They are good for the rainy days, and they will help to stabilize revenue generation for the country. And then finally, is that we need to make sure we transition to carbon credits, decarbonization, and trading in carbon so that we can reduce the emissions by taking some of our heavy duties to renewables, like solar, like wind, all right? We don't have too much of geothermal energy in country, all right? I'm getting to the end of the presentation, and I'll just show you some case studies, and then I will conclude. So what's the role of engineers? So in all these things that I've mentioned, all right, whether it is CNG, whether it is gas-based industries, these are process plants that engineers need to have a niche in. Whether you're IT professional, you can program some of the logics that will run the PLCs in the processing plant. You can write apps that will make sure that all these things are sequenced. All right? So whether you're a chemical engineer, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, civil engineer, all branches of engineering, you have a role to play in this gas-based infrastructure development. all right? If we are willing to invest to produce 1 BCF of processing capacity, that 1 BCF of processing capacity will support the generation of about 5 gigawatts of electricity. That 1 BCF of electricity, of gas that you are processing in the plant, so you would have helped the upstream to monetize the gas. The midstream will take the gas to where it is needed, whether it is in Kutuwenji, or whether it is in Bayelsa, or whether it is in Sokoto, all right? You will take the gas there, not that we will be waffling to build a 127 kilometers in 15 years. It's just an insult. A 1,200, that is 10 times that distance, was completed in 36 months. And that was even offshore, not Stream 1 and not Stream 2. They are built offshore, which is more difficult than on land. And we're struggling with just crossing the River Niger, you know, and that's in Russia, the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2, okay? So engineers, you have a role. And in addition to engineering role, artificial intelligence is coming in, where you can leverage on artificial intelligence for your process plant optimization, for the collection of your revenue, for billing and invoicing. So there are many things, many opportunities that we can latch on to ensure that we tap into this economy that is booming. And I'm glad that NSC LEKKY branch is already thinking of blue economy and so many other things, marine, where we can actually leverage on a lot of opportunities. All right, next slide. This is my, I think, second to the final slide. So what are the case studies? Next slide. So in this picture, you can see the case studies of success stories. So we have at the top left-hand corner there, that's a picture of the Bonny LNG plant at night. The next one to it, you have LNG vessels that are taking the gas to distant markets. The next one there is an example of a fertilizer plant. And then the middle picture, middle row, left hand, that is a CNG truck. One of the 4,000 that were recently rolled out by Dangote refinery. This can take products to as far as, I mean, you can think of northwest or northeast, and then you will solve the problem of stealing diesel or stealing petrol by the driver, because the CNG, he cannot steal the CNG. The CNG will take him to destination, and we are monetizing our gas. As of today, when you look at what we are producing compared to the reserves that we have, it's just a pity, and we need to do more. The picture in the middle is an example of gas transmission. We need more gas transmission pipelines. And then to the extreme right, that's the picture of Azura Edo Power Plant, which is one of the fantastically run commercial agreement. You know, right from the power purchase agreement to the gas supply agreement to the gas transportation or the network code, very fantastic. And they keep to the agreement. I ran that contract for 7 years. There was no liability to the gas producer because we manage it well. We manage the contract very, very well. And then the bottom left-hand corner is your CNG in your tanks, and then you have other projects, fertilizer plants, petrochemicals, and things that you can do. So there's a lot of opportunity towards 2050, where, I mean, we're looking at, by 2050, the population of Nigeria, you know, Nigeria will be the third largest country in the world by population. By the time the world is about 9 billion people, Nigeria will be talking of 500, 600, 700 million people. That's a huge opportunity. but we need to do something now with our gas. Thank you very much for listening. And there are lots of opportunities out there. Please see me. You can reach out to me. The organizers will give you my contact, my email address, my phone number, and let's look at ways where we can take this further so that engineers will benefit from what the knowledge that God has given us and the abundance of gas that we have. It is commercially affordable and it is cleaner and better than other fossil fuel. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Go straight to the second presentation, so Engineer Emeka Okoye will be stepping forward to invite the next speaker and to read the citation. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all.
You're moving so carefully, let's start living dangerously. Talk to me, baby. I'm going blind from this.
Okay, well, afternoon all. It's my honorable duty here to invite our next speaker, Engineer Nathan Onubua. So Nathan Onubua is a seasoned professional in the oil and gas industry. He brings about 25 years of experience spanning both technical, economics, and commercial domains across West Africa gas value chain. Known for his strategic leadership and deep expertise in downstream gas business, Nathan has played a pivotal role in advancing Nigeria's domestic and regional gas business and infrastructure growth. Nathan began his career in 2000 as a business development engineer with GasLink Nigeria Limited, now Axela Limited, where he contributed to the engineering and execution of landmark projects such as the 100-kilometer Greater Lagos Gas Pipeline and the 120-kilometer UNICEM pipeline network in Calabar. In 2007, he joined Chevron Nigeria Limited as commercial coordinator for domestic gas, where he was instrumental in aligning Chevron's gas business with Nigeria's gas master plan. Over the years, he has held key roles in economics, regulatory, government relations, and non-joint venture gas assets. Currently, he is seconded by Chevron to NG Gas Limited. Nathan serves as a general manager commercial. In this capacity, he oversees and leads international commercial negotiations and the administration of critical commercial agreements, including gas purchase agreements, gas transport agreements, gas sales agreements, escrow agreements, and payment guarantee agreements across West African gas pipeline member states that are Nigeria, Benin, Togo, and Ghana. Nathan's board experience reflects his regional influence, having served on the boards of Soto Gas of Togo, and is still a member of the board advisory committee of the West African Gas Pipeline Company in Ghana. His contributions continue to shape commercial frameworks and cross-border energy cooperation in West Africa. Nathan holds an MSc in Gas Engineering and Management from the University of Salford, UK. He has received leadership and strategic planning training at the University of Oxford, UK. He's a member of the Nigerian Gas Association and the Institution of Gas Engineers and Managers, UK, and a student of the John Maxwell Leadership Academy. His commitment to industry development and regional integration positions him as a key figure in Africa's evolving energy landscape. Join me in welcoming Nathan as our next speaker. Thank you, sir.
A long introduction. If I knew that they were going to read all of those things, I would have just done 3 bullets, just 3 bullets. I didn't know. It took a lot of time. Thanks for bringing me here. I had to fly down yesterday to attend this program, and I'll be flying back tomorrow morning. I told the organizers that if they don't see me, they should just put me as yeah. If I come, that's fine. If I don't, that's still fine, right? But I have to be here today. Let me say this. You will pardon all mistakes. I'm so tired, right? You will pardon any type of flaws because I had to put this presentation. I just want her to put this presentation today. So you will pardon all my mistakes. But I mean, we could talk after the event and I could make clarification. Is that okay? Okay. So recently, I like to say this also. So I just climbed the 5th floor. So I'm on the 5th floor now. Okay. So having said that, let's discuss. I like to discuss because sometimes when you put engineers, I know I'm talking to the most smartest people in the world. So I'm always very careful when I talk to very smart people. So I'll be cautious because I know that they will be fact checking me. All right. But I guess my experience may help. I will win in the place of experience. All right. Now let me start by. You can turn on the slides. I have my own slide here. All right. Let me start by saying that I will not repeat the things. You know, you've got two Nats for one presentation. So I am Nat. I used to call him Big Nat. So I'm the small Nat. You can see me just by, you just know that I'm the small Nat. All right. So I won't repeat. Okay, there's a problem. I sent it to you.
I saw you dancing in a crowded room. You look so happy.
Okay. And while he tries to figure out that one, I sent him a PDF file. All right. He wants PowerPoint files. But I told him he can. It's the same thing. Okay. So I won't repeat what Big Nat have said. I will speak from experience. Because one of the reasons you people brought me here, I saw the topic, I had to reminisce over that topic, and I got this feeling that a lot of people here in the room wants to go maybe invest where there are opportunities and stuff like that. So let me manage that expectation. As somebody that has been burned, as somebody that has tried it, and as somebody that, okay, may navigate you through some ways. Is that okay? Because sometimes the gas business can be so exciting that a lot of you may jump into it and get burned. But again, I want to make some clarification again before getting into the presentation. I always make it my first slide, irrespective of the audience. I have spoken with engineers before, and I made this grave mistake by thinking that I was talking the same gas they understood. So I like by saying that, number one, this natural gas that I'm talking about, or I am here to talk about, is not LPG gas. I'm not talking LPG gas, the C3, C4 you have in your kitchen. That is not what I'm talking about. The natural gas that I'm talking about will be methane pipeline gas. And if by extension I talk natural gas in LNG form, which is still natural gas but in liquid form, that is okay. And if I talk about compressed natural gas, which is the same natural gas, methane that is under compression, that will be okay. I just wanted to say this so that we don't get mixed up, because somebody once pulled me and say, oh, Nathan, I want to do cylinder gas and be selling to people in their kitchens. I'm like, okay. When I interrogated it, it was talking about LPG gas. So it's not LPG gas. I won't talk LPG gas. Big Nuts may talk LPG gas if you grab him. He may tell you one or two things in that regards. Having said that, I want to also say that, like all business, so I started my career in engineering, but because I was looking for money to do gas business, I had to start wearing suits, because Engineer Charles Osezwa, who is my mentor, once told me, bankers don't give you money if you wear jeans to the office. Right, so now, since then, I started dressing like this. But very few people believe that I'm an engineering graduate. So I studied engineering, gas engineering for that matter. My first degree was gas engineering. My second degree was gas engineering. In short, my PhD, before I saw money, I left the PhD, abandoned it, and then pursued money to work for Chevron. Any which way was gas engineering, all through. So let me start by saying that if you check, I will go back. You can do it. I'm told that you can pursue PhD anytime, right? I will go back. I'll go back. I think I can do it with a little bit of ease now. I can. Yes, you can do it a little bit of ease. I can tell you the difference is really clear. I knew what I was going through in the UK. All right, so let's go to the next slide. This slide will level set a lot of things. The next slide is you'll see a growth plan. Yes, I really did not know that we are going to be using this type of what they call them, projector. They're not the very best. But what this slide is saying is that, like every business, it will have a beginning and it will get to a place of what you call maturity or the controlled state. The beginning where the thing evolves, it emerges. And at the time I was in that business with Engineer Osezwa, at this beginning, the industry was really just structured around where either the infrastructure is or where you have the raw material. No laws. At the time we started gas development as a business in Nigeria, the first business was GasLink, all right? There were no laws. It means that you would have to test that business with no rules or regulation. It's not a very comfortable place to be if you want to do a business, or you want to do any business for that matter. However, it could turn into becoming a gold mine. People who survive the emergent phase of any business can, you may have heard it, they cash out. You would see, if you are successful, you will make a lot of money. It is possible. But if you are not successful, the probability that you may be able to do another business will be very slim. Will be very slim. So that was the kind of situation we had at the time. In short, I remembered that while working with World Bank to get funding for less than 1.2 kilometer Greater Lagos project, we started it with a phase 1A, then phase 1B. Phase 1A was on the Obaakran Road, where you have Cadbury and all of those people. Just 1.2 kilometers. To get the first $10 million, no bank, I remember there was nobody, there was no MD that I did not know at the time. Of course, with my suit, because now I look very believable, all right? But there was nobody that was ready to give money for that business. Why? Because it was a business they did not understand. There were no rules, no regulations. So it will have to take one of the board of directors, all right? And now for the purposes that we are discussing as family, I may name names once in a while. Tony Elumelu will like, okay, you have a bank, Oga. He had Standard Trust Bank at the time. Look, if you are a board, if you are a shareholder, the reason why you are a shareholder is that you believe in the business. And so let your bank show the way. So and he obliged. And it was very difficult for us at the time because, remember, NGC that you see today, that is now NGIC, was franchised. And one of the franchise was won by GasLink in the Greater Lagos area, which consists of Ilukpeju, Matori, Ikeja, all these places, right? The assets, if you look at the franchise handover and all the agreements, were not written in GasLink's name. They were still written in NGIC's name or NGC's name. So no bank was ready to borrow you money if assets that you are developing on a BOT basis is not going to be written in your name. I am beginning to stack the realities. Then maybe eventually you then get that business running. Let me say this. There is a slide I have, and I will not go into any other slide. I think that is slide 8. You can move it to slide 8. Why people don't do gas business. It is good to say it, why we don't do gas business. You know, after working in engineering and then being in economics for a long time, I discovered why we don't like gas business. And it is because of that. If you took a barrel of crude oil, which is almost equivalent to 6,000 standard cubic feet of gas, put that at the back of your mind somewhere. 1 barrel of crude oil, 6,000 standard cubic feet of gas. 1 barrel of crude oil today costs what? About $65 to about $70 per barrel, depending whether it's Brent, whether it's WTI, depending on whatever you're looking at. On average, $65 per barrel. If you then took today's average price that you sell gas in Nigeria, which is $2.13 per MMBTU, you multiply that to your 6,000, you will get just $13. So in equivalence, you are looking at a business that can potentially yield you $65 versus $13. That is where the problem lies. That is where the problem lies. So you begin to make the math very quickly. And that is why you would see people may want to do oil business and just run away from the gas. Because by nature, gas business can be very capital intensive. You see it in your homes, and all of you are engineers with bright minds. You see it in the homes all the time. Now, I love cooking. I have always said if I was not an engineer, I would have been a chef. And I still do my chef business by the side. So one of the things I do very well is to buy pots. Now, when you buy pots, if you check all those guys, those pots in there, you will see they will write the different class of that pot, the kind of steel that was used. If it was stainless steel, like the one we love using, we want to always buy a class 1810 steel pot. The reason we are looking for 1810 steel pots is because that is the pot that can withstand a lot of heat and steam. You then begin to see that by the time you begin to deal with steam, it seems as if your capital cost begins to increase. Because if I was to deal with bottled water in the fridge, plastics will do. But if I have to deal with steam, plastic will not do. I will need a very good stainless steel to handle heat. And sometimes you can see those people, they now do cast iron. And sometimes some of them now do copper pots. It becomes even more expensive. So you can just begin to think that is the nature of gas. Very volatile, very difficult to manage, highly incompressible. The cost, the cost to develop it begins to just escalate. I'll give you our business in different places. If you were doing a pipeline business, gas pipeline business, I can tell you, and you can take it to the bank. It's a utility business. Utility business will not return you more than 5% rate of return. Let me say this again. Utility business will not return you more than 5% rate of return. For you to get more than 5% rate of return on utility business, you must have either captured a market, you are the owner of the company, you also borrowed yourself money, you borrowed that company money, and then you wrote in your shareholders agreement that in order for me to get my money, I need a 10%. And that is our best, anywhere that they can allow you. But think about it. If it is true that most utility business will give you 5% rate of return, I think Nigerian bond market, as of today, it gives you, I can see a guy smiling. You are smiling. It gives you 18% rate of return. So people will begin to ask you the question before you get into gas and oil business. But can't you just take that money and go and put it in the alternative where it is free, risk-free to a large extent, and you get 18% rate of return? Because if I want to do a gas pipeline and Big Nuts is here, 1 kilometer of pipeline is about $1 million. $1 million, if you multiply that by 1,500 or whatever you choose to believe, that number begins to get so big. It's big, sir. It gets so big. Now, if it is true that you have $1 million, they will ask you the question. Even if you go to a bank today, that bank will ask you the question, I have a better place for you to keep $1 million. So really, the people who do gas business are people who have the heart to endure. If you don't have the heart to endure, don't come. It is just most recently Axela started making money. I was the first staff they recruited. I was. Commissioned in 2002, we commissioned Cadbury, December 8, 2002. But if you then check the history, the trajectory today, they've stayed the time. And I was looking at their financials because they were trying to, I guess, sell the company or something. They're making a revenue of 188 billion. 188 billion. Now, 188 billion didn't come over time. That was a company I once worked and my salary was just 18,000 naira. My salary was 18,000 naira. 18,000 naira was not big money then. We could do the math. It was not big money. It wasn't taking me home. 18,000 was just the pay of what the earnings of the company was at the time, what the company could afford at the time. Today, it is not the case. I am sure they are paying their new employee because there was a time they were doing the recruitment and they were starting those guys for, I think, maybe about $1 million naira. Right? So, again, let me backtrack. I'm only stating all of these things here because when we begin to talk gas business, I have seen the engineering and I've seen how money moves in gas business. I think it was Big Nat that said an extension of the Alps end at a place called Itoki. Now from Itoki, you have a huge pipeline that takes gas from Itoki. Itoki is in Nigeria, right? But a huge pipeline takes gas and goes underneath the water and comes out in Benin Republic and also comes out in Togo and also comes out at Ghana. And I manage the commercial arrangements of all of those countries. The reason why I am flying back tomorrow is because someone is owing me close to $100 million. Let me say it. I know engineers, it's good. That's why I said I like to manage. I manage this session very well. Because for investment to happen, it's a complete cycle. If I sell, goes one way, payment must come the other way. That keeps the cycle evolving and development progressing. So if you are owing me close to 100 million, you can punch your calculator again. How can I extend the pipeline any further than where the pipeline is today? It becomes challenging. No matter how I make you people feel so excited about the thing. You know, one of the things I discovered, I don't know what about you, but as a young engineer, I discovered that I was very enthusiastic. And of course, Charles Osezwa told me, engineers, they just like to build things. We are so excited. In short, our joy is the joy that we built and it's working. And then if you ask the engineer, what does it cost to make this thing happen? Do you people make money? An engineer is not really too bothered about that. His major devotion is to build, and it's good. So Engineer Charles moved me away from core engineering, and he said, Nathan, I want to make money, please. I don't need all those if it's not making bankable sense for me, economic sense for me, please go away. So you begin to see that all of these things, they tie together. And when Big Nat said that Russia took 36 months to build, right? Nord Stream 1 and 2, all right? It's good. But check, this is the cycle. Russia is the 5th, if I'm not mistaken, or the 4th biggest steel producer in the world. Gas business is about steel. In short, oil and gas business is steel everywhere. If we don't produce steel, So how do we make progress? So even if I'm able to deliver a presentation to engineers and say, oh, there are opportunities, you have to import pipelines. If you go through, one of the things engineers don't like is stress. When you take an engineer, you put him to go through the process of clearing something at Nigerian ports. Oh, Lord have mercy. You will see the average engineer. Average engineer will write an op-ed on every newspaper. How Nigeria is so crazy and blah, 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 blah. You can't do that. Just the idea to import steel. All right, so again, I just thought that I should level set some of these things. A lot of the things I want to say, Big Nat have said, I've said most of those things. But let me just go to slide 9, I guess. Slide 9. No. Back to slide 4. Back to slide 4. Slide 5. In slide 5, those were the early concept. Again, what this thing is showing, you will see it, I left the presentation. What this is showing is that development was always around where the resource is. And it makes sense why it is so. Development was always around where the resource is. If you go to the next slide, you would see how our gas business in Nigeria has been largely driven by power. Let me pause here, so that in case you want to join me in the gas business, if it is true that power business drives the gas business, and if it is true that there is opportunity in the gas business, and if it is true, public documents, if you Google now, that the power sector is being owed 4.5 trillion, which should be about 6 trillion now, if I take the 2025 debt. 6 trillion. 6 trillion. It means somebody is being owed that money. So the power plants are being owed 6 trillion. That 6 trillion is both for the power guys and their gas suppliers. So, think about it. If power drives that business, and that business is being owed 6 trillion, which opportunity are we really talking about? Which opportunity are we? Look, I am not a prophet of doom. I will talk about opportunity, but you need to chart some thoughts. If it is true that the power sector is the biggest consumer for our gas, and that sector is owing 6 trillion, that 6 trillion is an indication that you will be owed. Can I put it as simple? It's as simple. You will be owed. I am inviting you into my debt club. You will be owed. I need to say it. Welcome into the debt club. So you may be owed. But file that, keep that at the back of your mind somewhere. We are going somewhere. But if you look at the early stages, only 5 power plants, very few companies, between 1987 to maybe 1989, very few. That is just simple pipeline. Why is this guy going backwards? Please stay in the... Go. You have to go forward. All right. Anyway, let me use this one. Today, this is how the structure looks like. Very complicated structure today. Very, very complicated structure today. We've made some progress as a country. We've really made some progress if you look at that at that map. But what is also good to say is this. You see, the problem is where the opportunity is. So if you look at the West by the geography of gas is where you will have maybe Lagos or the Southwest all the way to Ghana, all the way to Ghana. We see them from the geography of gas is west. Look at that supply. The supply seems to be lower in terms of gas and the demand is higher. But if you look at the east of Nigeria, you would see that the supply is higher than the demand. And I think that is why if you listen to what Big Nat said, you will hear one pipeline called OB3. That is the reason. To take the gas from the east because the demand is not there and bring it to the west. That creates opportunity. Because once that OB3 pipeline is completed, the market is going to change along the western corridor. So it's good that we are aware of this. Because most times with gas markets, it is a function of how government just woke up. If they want to finish something in less than 1 month, they will finish it. So just keep that at the back of your mind. Next slide. I will not get into, that is slide 10. I will not talk much about the gas master plan because Big Nat talked about it. But I will talk about what the government also have planned to do within the next 10 years. They call it the decade of gas. And if you interrogate that document very well, I encourage us to visit the Decade of Gas website. Visit the Decade of, look, if there is any fine data repository in country, the Decade of Gas is one place you should visit. In short, they make this presentation very easy for me. I just shamelessly collected what they had there and just post it here. But you can go check it out. Why are they that good? It is a combination of both private and government that produce or drives the Decade of Gas aspirations. So all of those numbers were really interrogated. I am part of it. So you could just go there, you would see all of it, the numbers, everything are all in there. They talked about the infrastructure. As I have said, if it is infrastructure business you want to get into, leveraging on the Nigerian Gas Transportation Network Code, I would say to you, manage your expectation. There are opportunities in that business, whether from pipeline or running hydraulics or running any services that will make infrastructure aspiration possible. There are opportunities, but I would say that manage your expectation. You will not get 23% rate of return. You will not get it. You will not get it. You must be patient. You must be patient with gas business. You must be ready for the long haul with gas business. If you're not ready for the long haul, don't come. Or you just be complaining and raising two irrelevant prayer points. Because I have just discovered that it's in Nigeria that we try to give God the things that doesn't concern him. To solve gas matter and infrastructure matter. And though some people may feel okay with it, but I don't feel okay with it. So in order not to turn any of you to prayer warriors, if you know you cannot get into the long haul, either by having enough money, deep pockets, or by sheer patience of the people you recruit will go, because you cannot pay them. Let me tell you the truth. You cannot. It will be very difficult for you to retain very good people in the gas business. Why? Because the multinationals pay better than you. Okay. Look, it is the truth. In one swoop, 6 of us were taken from Axela. In one swoop. Well trained. 6 of us were just taken. In short, when I showed the MD of GasLink at the time, they called themselves now Axela. I showed him my salary. He said, no. He used his words. It will be witchcraft for me not to let you go. In short, Nathan, let me know when they want to recruit again. Those were his words. Those were his words. So, in this business, because you want to start small, but you need people. You want to start small, you need a lot of money. I'm telling you, you need a lot of money. I've just told you, 1 kilometer of pipeline is $1 million. Okay, I want to import CNG. It requires a lot of technicalities. Right? But you can meet big nuts. They do a lot of consultancy now, and it can roll out all of the numbers. But manage your expectation. When we get to policy, reforms, and regulatory, this is where I think engineers should really play big. Every policy framework is driven on the direction of professionals. So if NSC does not have its own interest taking into consideration why we are forming the Nigerian Network Code, like we are doing the second amendment of the Nigerian Gas Transportation Network Code. I never saw any NSC people in the room. We bounce it off to NGA. NSC is not driving any process there. To tell me how are they coming to take one pipeline? Which pipeline are they coming to build? Look, okay, so I'm challenging. Mine is to challenge you. It's not there. They are not there. I see all my stakeholders. NSC is not my stakeholder. I've not seen them there. Because at the end of the day, we will give all the opportunities to businessmen that will go and hire NSC people. Simple. Oh, okay. I think I'm getting too raw, right? Should I? Maybe I'll leave. All right. So, yeah, they will get business people. Business people will then get NSC, and NSC people will be doing consultancy work. Look, consultancy work is hard work. It's a lot of hard work. Building stuff are the things we know how to do. How come to be doing which consultancy work has not even been done before? Tell me which have not been done. So get your interest at where the main thing is. I have just said the Nigerian Gas Transportation Network Code that defines the opportunity available for you. For example, let me just give you a simple opportunity that any of you can run with. Can run with. I'm an advisor to a lot of presidents, so I can give you free of charge this thing, all right? So if they listen to me, you must listen to me. See, so it is very difficult for me to do business with power plants because they owe me, right? Okay. So as an economist, this is what I would tell engineers to do. Come, you have engineering knowledge. Let me take you to a third-party financier who can handle government risk or government exposure. So set up your own organization. We just concluded one with a young guy, very young guy. So I just said, set up your organization, get a financier. Because you are credible, you are NSC guy, people will believe you, and you will do things. Get the financier to finance security payments. So if I buy gas from Big Nuts, and I'm unable to pay Big Nuts, what I will do is I will get a financier. Financier puts the money that Big Nuts wants. And I will take financier's margin, maybe $1. Take my margin, $1. Go to the power plant. Power plant, this is your gas price. And your gas price is plus everything, plus the financier, plus my margin, you will take all. Because you are going to delay me anyway. The man says, okay, that sounds good. You have solved my problem of gas. I do not have cash to put 2 months of cash. The smallest power plant I deal with in Benin Republic will put $7 million cash. Must put $7 million cash for me to give him gas. They are small power plants, small. They are small power plants. If you don't put it cash, I will not give you gas. So engineers must come out, because I have just said what they have as strength is their parent name, their credibility, their history. You know, they've done stuff. This is strength, is assets for you. It's asset, and that will take care of liquidity problem. You have friends in the banks. Go and meet your friends. They will put arrangements for you there. And you don't really have to do much. They get to learn the business, make some money before you begin to get into re-pipeline and all of these type of things. I've talked about liquidity, where you can play even as an engineer. Engineer Charles Osezwa is there. You can go ask him. It's one of the finest minds that I've seen in this business, right? Sorry, is my time up? I need to be... Who is controlling this time? How many more minutes do I have? No, it's good to know how many more minutes I have. All right. Okay, so we have said that there are opportunities, but you must evaluate your opportunities very well. As I said, engineers will like to build, but let us just hold on, challenge what we want to build. Am I going to make something out of this? At the end of the day, that is why you want to build something anyway, right? As I begin to conclude, the next slide here, as I begin to conclude, as I said, all of these things, if you go to the decade of gas, you will see all of these things and the aspiration. How much is required to move us from that 2020 to 2030? I like the decade of gas because it is time bound. It is time bound. All right? They want to move from whatever the 4.9 billion standard cubic feet we are doing on a daily basis, and they want to move it to about 8 billion standard cubic feet domestic gas. Well, that will create a lot of opportunities for people, but you have to be in the right space of opportunity. The right space. Now, the other one is infrastructure. The next slide is infrastructure. As I've said, these are for upstream players, and I've just showed you the math. $63 is what you will get if you put energy to pursue oil. That same energy, if you put it to pursue gas, it is $13. You make your call if you want to play in this space. All right. The next slide is not showing, but that is this space. If you want to play in this space, you have to really look at that difference. whether really this is the space you want to play in. The next slide. The next slide is just to show you the infrastructure, where we are and where we are planning to move by 2030. Where we are is the small map. You can see the small infrastructures we have. To where we are going is the big map with all of those infrastructure. When they send you the slides, you could check them, and I think they are annotated, so you can see them very, very clearly. All right? Again, with infrastructure, measured expectation. It's very expensive. I know that Axela has started their pipeline on the Lekky corridor. I'm sure you must have seen those pipelines that they have strung all the way going down to Ekpe. Now, let me help us situate this. I've just told you that 1 kilometer is about maybe $1 million. Imagine, from Victoria Island, where they were coming from, all the way to Ekpe, which industry have you seen? Which industry did you see? Okay, let me help you so that with engineers, they like numbers. When we wanted to do all of domestic supply of gas, natural gas, into people's homes, we started with MKO Abiola Gardens. Okay, then Tinubu was the president and the governor of Lagos State. All right, so it was my job to make that project happen at the time. Look, it was so, the energy, the cost to put all of the 300 and something people inside that estate, it was amazing. But look, that same energy and that same cost to connect Cadbury, it will take the same energy, the same cost to connect Cadbury, which is by the side. Cadbury is not too far from that MKO Abiola Gardens, right? To connect Cadbury, the size, the volume of Cadbury, we do the volume of that MKO Abiola Garden 10,000 times over and over and over again. Look at it. In your home, you use your 12.5 kg cylinder gas. For how many months? If it's like me, I use that thing like for that 12.5 kg, we'll be there for like 2, 3, 4 months. Right? And I then go and fill again with another 12,000 naira. Is that what I want to pay for somebody that is stringing pipeline of $1 million? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I don't have to be too scientific to know that. So, at the back of every investment, two things would happen. It's either you have just told yourself that, let me be building with the belief that one day, it go better. As we always tell ourselves. As we always tell ourselves. Well, I don't know whether that is good economics, though. I don't know, but you need to check that. If you want to do pipeline business or gas or move gas by provision of the network code guarantees that you can even do those things. You can do it as a business person. Take advantage of it, but I'm only just telling you, measure it. Make sure you have the market. It is huge enough to justify why you want to string those pipeline. Are we okay? It's okay. So don't just be excited about doing the pipelines. Okay? And I've said, I know Big Nat have said it. He has talked about, cost reflective tariff. He has talked about all the things that must be in place, and it is true. As I said, if all these things are not in place, that business you're about to enter, ask yourself some questions. Ask yourself some questions. It may be a little bit challenging, but this is the hope. So I remember the first day I went to Dangote's office many years back, and I was very young, very, very young. I was to do a gas pipeline I was to take it from Maryland all the way to Apapa, to the sugar refinery. Now, it didn't make sense to me because until I get to Apapa, there were no customers. I'll just continue that journey But it was more interesting when I sat with Dangote, all right? And this Davi Kuma was there, all right? And I saw their business methodology. Davi Kuma will tell you at that time, no, you don't need everything to be right before you get into the business. And Dangote will tell you the same thing. You don't need everything to be right before you get into the business. So we said that, sir, well, this your sugar refinery thing is not going to work because you need constant power and everything. I'm building my power plant. That's why I want you to bring gas in here. So it was building the sugar refinery. It was building the power plant to service the refinery. It was also funding the pipeline because it didn't make sense to us. We said, no, we're not coming. So he said, okay, bring it. I will fund the pipeline and I'll get my money back from rebates. My point is that not everything has to be in sync. You know, there's a proverb that says, it's only a foolish man that goes outside and check the weather and know whether he is going to work. He will go to work. He looks the weather and he just, it seems it's going to rain today. Let me go and sleep. He goes back home. No. So everything must not align before you take a plunge. It's just that when you take that plunge, you may get heat. But if you do your math well, involve the right people, involve big nuts, it's well experienced. It's well experienced. You involve, you know, this part of the world, we don't like consultants. We don't like bringing the right people in. You just tell ourselves, no, it go work, it go work. How do you know it go work? I just know, Sha. What is I just know, Sha? I hear that thing a lot. I just know, Sha. You know? No, it will not work. It will not work. I've also heard by the grace of God, it will work. Look, I think that is just, we try to be too spiritual here. We just try to be too spiritual. What by the grace of God? That's why I gave you brain. That's why he made you to go study engineering and say, okay, evaluate it, whether it will work. He said, bring your plan before me, right? And I will establish your ways, okay? But you must have a plan, okay? So plan, evaluate it. So my point is, test these things before you jump into there, whether it is CNG. I did CNG for like 7 years without any success. I was the first. Gasoline was the first. It was my baby project. But look at it, 20 years after, or 25 years after, we are talking about CNG now. So it may not have worked with me, but the environment is just right for it to work today. Because at that time, government was not ready to give me the right fiscals. Government was not ready to waive duties. Government was not ready to participate at the time when we wanted to do CNG. In short, all the lag buses were supposed to run on CNG. But for some reasons, it just didn't work. Okay? Now, but look at it, 25 years after. Maybe if we had stayed the course. Maybe if we had, NIPCO did. The guy did. He believed in Nigeria and he stayed the course. But I was like, no. I mean, you know, I am in a hurry sometimes. All right? So I just like, no, let's leave this, let's do something else. So whether it is CNG, internal reticulation, whatever we want to get into, measure it. Get a copy of the Nigerian Gas Transportation Network Code. I beg NSC, get it. NSC should put a section together to critique the Nigerian Gas Transportation Network Code, because that is where all the opportunity lies. In some few days from today, I'll be retiring. Yes, I'll be retiring. And I'm so happy that I'll be retiring at a very young age. Yeah. Oh, well. Okay. No, I'm not. Well, the reason why I am doing that is because I took advantage of the Nigerian Network Code. I was one of the early drafters. I saw all the opportunities inside. So I think, let me go and test some things. NSC should get a copy of that document. NSC should make advocacy on that document. NSC should find space for its members. Meet Big Nat. He participated heavily in that document. And I'm sure the reason why he's retired from the place I used to know him is because he has prepared some good things for himself in that code. Yeah, he did a lot of work on that code. All right, so this would be my appeal. All right, we win through regulatory, legislative frameworks. That is how this business survives. Oil and gas business survive on regulatory and legal frameworks. If you don't participate in that level, it may be challenging. I think I will stop here. If there are any questions, I will take them on the question and answer time. Thank you.
We have in the house, that was a very nice presentation by our last presenter. Thank you very much. Indeed, this was an eye-opener for us. We have in the house the chairman, Ekpe branch. Chairman, Ekpe branch, Engineer Prof. KFK Oyedeko. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring our invitation. And we have also the chairman, Egbi Ikorodu branch. Chairman, Egbi Ikorodu branch. Okay, Engineer Bakare Lukman. Engineer Bakare Lukman Olarewaju. Thank you so much. And also in the house, we have representing our former past president, Engineer Olufemi Dare, FNSC, represented by Engineer Shola Adediran, Ibeju LEKKY branch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for honoring our invitation. It's indeed a great privilege to have you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chairman, sir.
So, Engineer James, yeah, from Nigeria Society of Engineers, VI. I was telling him, I want to recognize his presence, so please kindly stand. And the Vice Chairman of VI, yeah. So they are very important because we are with them, so I'll give them one minute, just a few seconds just to greet the house. Let them see you.
In fact, this is amazing, and I want to say thank you for this opportunity. Like, you know, we, how will I say this? We have Nigeria Center of Engineers Victoria Land Branch, being the branch that take care of all these axes. And before this division, nobody will like for his family, or you know, something is constant. What is it? Change. Change is constant, but it's difficult. But when this happens, we have branches like this. It brings about development, and we know that this is one of the development, and I believe that every other branch will move to become great and greater. But to Victoria Land Branch, we thank God that we at least we have backups, and thank God we still have all the other branches. We have LEKKY Chevron branch, we have LEKKY branch, we have Ekpe branch. We have them, so it makes us stronger than now. So I want to use this opportunity to thank everyone for coming to grace this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, just briefly, we've listened to the two presenters. Are there questions? One, I can see one hand. Any other? Okay. You can come out and ask your question.
All right. All protocols observed. And just to quickly say this, my name is Engineer Shola Adeniro. I'm really, really very delighted to be here to represent my able chairman, that's Engineer Olufemi Dare, FNSC. You will have loved to be here, but for some official engagement, I had to come here to represent him. All right, with regards to the presentation, first and foremost, I could see a lot of passions in the delivery of these presentations by the two speakers. Very, very outstanding, I must say. The presentation from, if I may say, the nuts, you know, actually gave a whole lot of aspiration. Oh, let's go into it and all that and all that. But the small nuts came with reality checks to say, look, if you really want to go into it, these are the things you need to be looking at for. In the solution that both provided, even though I know NSC is not a political, body, but I know that behind all this, whether it is $63 per barrel or $13, for the standard cubic for the gas, the overriding thing, I think, is the political will. You could say that if we aspire to go higher to the highest level to make decisions, we will be looking far more than to make decisions on economics. We'll be looking far more on how we're going to really make Nigeria much more, an energy-based, economy. And what am I saying? If we want to look at the economics, we will not even dabble into gas. But we know that at the end of the day, when we go too far in terms of the future of this nation, by our political will, we will make sure that it happens. Just like we are saying with the coastal road. I mean, ordinarily, many people will not want to go into that. But I know that there are some things decision we will make that is beyond economics, but that will come as a result of the importance that we're going to gain at the end of it, for the nation. So I really want to appreciate, the two speakers, the presenters. I mean, they've actually opened, our eyes. Personally, my eyes are open to a whole lot of things. But in terms of solution, in terms of moving forward, I think as a nation is a very, very good, energy mix for us to go into gas, full blown out, in order to increase the economy of this country. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Good comments. Thank you so much. Any final one? Any other question or comments? Okay. So, we leave it at that. So, Engineer Money, please come.
Touch me like you do, touch me like you do. What are you waiting for? Fitting in, fitting out, on the edge of paradise. Every inch of your skin is a holy grail I've gotta find. Only you can set my heart on fire, on fire. Yeah, I'll let you set the pace, 'cause I'm not thinking straight. My head's spinning around, I can't see clear no more. What are you waiting for? Love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Touch me like you do, touch me like you do.
It's been a wonderful day, and we appreciate everyone. So, quickly, we'll be taking goodwill messages before the vote of thanks as we hit. So, if you have any good sister branches, I know that Engineer James just spoke, other branches, any goodwill message, and senior engineers, if there's any goodwill message, we'd like you to give us, introduce yourself, and just take 1 minute, then.
Thank you very much, Chairman. And every other person that is here, I appreciate you, the presenters. I appreciate every step that has been taken for this occasion to be a success. My name is Engineer Fremomo. I started right many years ago in Port Harcourt branch. And when I was transferred to Abuja, I also participated as a member of Abuja branch, but such that government job keeps moving people. So everywhere I found myself, I identified myself with the engineers. Thank you very much. Now I settle in Lekky here, and I think I am already part and parcel of this branch. I will render my support as required to lift up this particular branch to the height that God will decide for us. Thank you very much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon once again. My name is Engineer Eddie Isabo, the past chairman of Sapele Branch 2018 to 2020. I stand here to represent Engineer Valerie Agberagba Ifweko, a 3 Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers 2011, 2012, and 2013. A past president of APWEM and one-time Vice President of the World Federation of Engineering Organization. So it is my honor to deliver this goodwill message on behalf of Engineer Valerie Agberagba on this auspicious occasion of the inauguration of Engineer Abiodun Adelokun as the first chairman of Lekki Peninsula branch and the inauguration of the branch at the 93rd branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Today marks a significant milestone not only for Engineer Abiodun, but for the entire branch and the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Leadership is a call to service, and Engineer Ayamu has consistently demonstrated his dedication, integrity, and professional excellence required to lead and inspire others. His emergence as chairman is both well deserved and reassuring. Engineer Valerie Agberagba extends our hearty congratulations to the chairman, its executive, and entire branch members, and expresses confidence that your tenure will usher in greater collaboration, visible impacts, and innovative programs that will strengthen the branch and elevate engineering profession. To the members of the branch, she urges you to give the new leadership your full support as they work to advance the ideals of the society and promote engineering development for greater good. She hopes to see all of us at Ibadan from December 1st to December 4th. And as we know, she's aspiring to become the next deputy president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And we pray that by your goodwill and by the grace of God, you'll give her that support, and she promises to build on the enduring legacies of the past presidents of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Once again, thank you so much, and congratulations to Lekki Peninsula branch. Thank you.
Seems like everybody's got a price. I wonder how they sleep at night.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm engineer Professor Kev Koyedeko, chairman of Epe branch, standing on the existing protocol. I want to congratulate the Lekki Peninsula branch of NSC. Lekki Peninsula branch is 93rd branch of NSC. Epe branch is 92nd branch. So the two of us are partner in progress. So it seems that we are more or less, even with the Lekki, the three of us, we are actually cohabiting together. And I wish and I pray that we will bring a lot of viable and feasible projects and progress into NSC. And of course, we want to bring something that is of known and of interesting to not only NSC Lagos branches, but also NSC as a whole, as a society. Once again, I congratulate the branch and I wish them well. And good luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will now invite the chairman of EGBI to give us his goodwill message.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Engineer Bakare Lukman Larewaju, branch chairman, NSC Ebikodu branch. Yes, I want to facilitate with the 93rd branch of NSC, that's Lekki Peninsula, that I wish you success, and I want all ESCOs to cooperate with the ESCOs, the chairman, so that the branch can move forward. So thank you very much. Congratulations, sir. Thank you.
was hot from summer rain, sweat dripping off of me before I even knew her name.
This will be the final one.
Yes. All right. Good afternoon once again. Again, I like to stand on all existing protocols. And my name is Shola, Engineer Shola Adeniro. I want to formally deliver my chairman's, felicitations on this occasion of the inauguration of Lekki Peninsula NSC branch. Indeed, it's really a joyful experience for us. Engineer Olufemi Dare, FNSC, actually extends his warmest congratulations to this new branch. And just like the chairman Ekpe branch just mentioned, LEKKY branch was the 91st branch of NSC, and then followed by Ekpe, and then now we have Lekki Peninsula. All what that means to us is for us to actually be able to collaborate with one another on this corridor. And we know all our parent branches, either Ikeja branch or Victoria Island branch, will definitely be proud to see every more branches springing up in this corridor. And it's an opportunity for us, a panacea for us to collaborate together and move, engineering professionalism forward in this corridor and in Nigeria as a whole. So I want to congratulate the Protent chairman once again. Congratulations, and we wish, you and your ESCO very well. And in years to come, we will see that the seed that have been planted today will grow and blossom into bigger and bigger trees. Congratulations, Lekki Peninsula, and God bless everyone.
So thank you. So, we are bringing the occasion to a joyful close. I want to say a big thank you to everyone for honoring us with your presence. We appreciate your contribution, your support, your time, and all that you have granted to make this occasion a great one for us. We look forward to continuous support and a very beneficial relationship as we progress. So, our engineer Batunde James from VI will read his message to the branch.
Standing on the well-established protocol, like I said before, that I'm happy and I'm very happy to be here. We have attended all the other branches, but today we had a program, and it took us by after one. I think we are still in VI, and we are saying to ourselves, it looks somehow. If I have attended LEKKY, we have attended Ekpe, and Lekki Pelus. No, we have to. Then we drove down. So we have this more peace. To the branch, letter of congratulations On behalf of the Nigeria Society of Engineers, Victoria Land Branch, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to you on your election as the pioneer chairman of the LEKKY Peninsula branch, the 93rd branch of our great society. The creation of LEKKY Peninsula branch marks a significant milestone in strengthening the reach of NSC, particularly in a region within immense economic and industrial potential. We at Victoria Land Branch are excited at the opportunities for collaborations, knowledge sharing, and joint initiatives that this new chapter presents. Together, we can work towards enhancing professionalism, development for our members, promoting engineering excellence, and contributing to the sustainable growth of our community and the nation at large. Please accept our best wishes for a successful tenure. We look forward to working closely with you and your team as partners in building a stronger and more vibrant vibrant Nigerian engineering community. Once again, I want to say congratulations to my chairman. So thank you very much. Thank you.
So on this note, thank you, Engineer Babatunde. I know that you are one of the first, immediately it was announced September 11, to call me and congratulate me and my team. Once again, thank you. And thanks to the entire team in VI branch. So on this occasion, I want to say thank you to everyone that has come to make this great for us and memorable. We want to pray and commit you to God as you go, that you enjoy journey masses as you go. We appreciate your support for this occasion, and we look forward to continuous support throughout our journey in building engineering professionalism and enhancing our impact as engineer in this society. Once again, thank you all. Thank you.